Hi there everyone, Coach Mark here with a new art lesson. So let's get started.
Easter Island, also called Rapa Nui, is a Polynesian island in the Pacific Ocean, more than 2,000 miles or 3,500 kilometers off the coast of Chile. It is believed that Polynesian people settled on the island more than 1,000 years ago and began building a thriving culture. When Dutch explorer Jacob Roggeveen discovered the island on Easter Sunday in 1722, he was astonished to find that the island was covered with hundreds of mysterious, giant stone heads. These huge statues are called Moai, and there are nearly 900 of them on the island. They are believed to be between 500 and 750 years old, and many of them stand around the coast of the island with their backs to the sea. Most archaeologists believe that they were meant to represent the spirits of chiefs or ancestors, but there are no written records to help understand their significance or how they were made, and so archaeologists must rely on clues that were left behind and on the stories handed down from generation to generation by the people on the island. Each statue is made out of a single huge piece of stone, although some of the statues have an extra piece of stone on the top of their heads, carved into a top knot. On average, they are 13 feet or 4 meters high and weigh between 12 and 13 tons each. The largest moai ever erected, called Paro, is over 32 feet or 9.8 meters tall and weighs 82 tons. Although the statues are often referred to as heads, most of them have bodies. Some were buried in the ground up to their shoulders, and many more were tipped over. At one point, there were no unburied statues left standing at all, but now dozens of statues have been re-erected, and some have been restored to look as they did hundreds of years ago. The island is made of 3 extinct volcanoes, and a variety of volcanic materials abound which were suited to carving the gigantic statues. The main quarry is a volcanic crater called Ranoraraku, and archaeologists estimate that 95% of the statues came from here.
So, waste not, want not. Inspired by that video and the Moai of Easter Island being here, approximately in this Pacific Ocean, I thought, well, what could I use to make some Moai? It was actually inspired by a French artist who I show at the end of this video, who used the inner tubes of paper towel rolls and paper toilet rolls, which, you know, we have heard a lot about these days. But once the towels are all used up, what do you do with the inner tubes? Well, let's recycle them, make them into some art. First thing I did was I brought one of them to the sink, soaked it both inside and outside, so it's kind of really easy to mold into whatever shape you want. Another way to describe that, I guess, consistency would be that you can squish it. So here I was able to squish it into like a ball shape, but it wasn't falling apart. From here, I was able to make a fold at the top, but the first thing I started with was the nose. I tried to pinch out a nose shape. I folded down this top area a little bit, pushed it down to make like a eye shape. I did the same over here, and I thought these moai maybe could smile a little bit, so I tried to make a smile on this moai. I ripped it a little bit to allow for a lip shape to occur. I folded it up. On my second one, I had the same process. I didn't really rip it so much on the bottom, but I definitely worked on folding down or pushing down on the cardboard to make eyebrow shapes, and then I pinched in the middle to make a nose shape. I pinched and I pushed down on the sides at the same time. it happens very quickly, and you just have to experiment with it and have a little fun with it. Then I let them sit it for a while to dry. There's quicker ways to make them dry if you want. You might need your parents to help you. But if you leave them out in the sun, they'll dry quickly. And then when they're dry, in my situation, I sprayed them silver because I had some silver spray paint. And I'm happy with how the one on the left turned out. Looks like he's got his mouth open, not smiling as much. When he dried out a little bit, the smile went away. But the nose shape is very prominent. And you can definitely make out possible shape for the eyes and the head. The second one I tried, you can definitely see a mouth and maybe what could be considered a nose and some eyes. But both gentlemen or ladies or individuals look like they're talking, explaining something, possibly complaining about something, but I enjoyed the fact that I was able to experiment and make a little sculpture in a simple way while recycling some pieces of material that we often take for granted once we're done with the outside paper towel. Thanks guys, I'll have another lesson soon enough. Please, please, please post some work. And oh, I did say I'd give the artist some credit. Here are his. I think he's tried and worked a little harder than I have. His name is Junior Fitzjack. And you can search him on the internet. These are some pretty cool shapes. He spent a lot more time, I think, working on his shapes than I did. But in each of these, you can definitely tell there's a nose. The mouth is very prominent. Very, very nice. And I think he's tried a couple of times to get these faces the way he wants. But, oh, maybe I got to practice a little more. But let's see how yours turns out. And maybe I'll show you my second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. Talk to you soon. Bye.